this week's HawkTalk. My name's Parker Robinson, and I'm joined by Coach Pete Stanton of the football team. Let's just jump into it. It's been a few weeks since you joined us, but since then you guys went to Mayville, got a good conference win. Talk about that game a little bit and how the team played.
Yeah, it was a good win after being off a couple weeks, and we had a bye week before that, and we were able to go back and try to help fix some things on both sides of the ball and just get ourselves refocused and healthy. And we went out there to Mayville, which is a hard place to play, and we didn't get off to a great start. But once we got past that first quarter and we hit a few big plays and got some stops on defense, then we had a real good game. And as a result, we had the 52-7 win. Our guys really came together, played well, and we did a lot of good things on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, you had two receivers go for over 100 yards. You had 11 guys catch the ball throughout that game. Just talk about the receiving core and how dynamic they are.
Yeah, we have a lot of guys that have the ability to make plays, and Hayden does just a good job of distributing the ball out and getting it to after he makes his reads to get it to the guy that's open. And Chase Anderson had a big game. Had a couple long catches and catching it over the top of guys who were covering him, and especially the one right before halftime when it's 22-7, we get the interception. But right before that, and then we come back and hit the long pass play with the right at the very end of the half to break the game open at 29-7. I think he and Tiger had a lot of yards receiving, and once again Hayden did a good job of distributing the ball out.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, defense played pretty well there. Got a couple turnovers, shut out Mayville in the second, third, and fourth quarter. So you got to be happy with the way they're coming around this season.
Yeah, against Mayville, we just did a good job with finally pressuring him in the second and third quarter, and their quarterback's a good player with Fowl, and I think we got him moving around a little bit, got him uncomfortable, and once we did that, then we made some plays. He threw the ball to us, some, and we had a couple of big plays. Or Kane had the interception that was returned for a touchdown, and Jay and some of the other guys had some interceptions. So we were able to obviously do well in that facet, and then get the ball back to the offense, and the offense did a good job of finishing it out.
Yeah, definitely. And then you got to come back home, as we talked. Felt like another home opener, not being back at the BAC for a while, and had another good performance. A guy we'll be talking to in a little bit here, Carsten Mack, played really well. First half, 130 yards. Talk about his performance.
Well, it was a very good performance. I think Carsten did a good job of staying with the offensive line. I think our offensive line had a great day, and I know he would credit them a lot too. But then he made some good runs. He did really patient. Carsten was really patient in the game and did a good job of finding some things. And then when he did, getting his shoulders downfield, made some great runs. And it was a big day for him and our offensive line to be able to put that performance together. And I think the other thing is our balance on offense was huge. We had high 400s in yards, but just about the same number of yards passing and rushing, and it was great to have that offensive balance.
Yeah, and you guys kept getting good field position thanks to the special teams. A couple of long returns by Dylan Scabo, a good punt by Seth Markirk, pinning presentation inside the one. How big is that third part of the game?
Oh, most definitely. I think our kick team was very good, and of course part of that starts with the kicker. He does a good job, Cody Johnson, of getting the ball up in the air and giving those guys a chance to get up underneath it. But I think our kick team started things. They tackled well, and they did a really good job of pinning him down in field position. As you said, I think one of the plays of the game was Dylan's kick return into the wind after they take a lead 7-6 on us, and we're looking at driving into the wind. All of a sudden now we take it out, and he gets us great field position. Our kick return gets us great field position. We're sitting at their 20-yard line. That was a huge part of the game. And then, of course, as you said, our punting game was pretty good. We did a good job of getting another kick return, and of course scored on a kickoff, which doesn't happen very often. We scored on a fumble on a kickoff. So we just did a great job on our special teams.
Yeah, and then defensively, another 2 interception from Matt Van de Bosch and Kane Boshi. How big is that secondary?
Yeah, they've done a good job, and of course it starts, up front. Those guys that tell you the same thing. I mean, our secondary has some good ball skills, and they do a pretty good job. But you can't do that without the undercoverage guys doing a good job and taking away routes, and the defensive line getting a good pass rush. And I think it was just a total team effort defensively. We did a much better job of getting off the field, and a team that had a lot of yards against us the last couple of years, and really pressuring their quarterback. and making their quarterback uncomfortable. We took away the run game up front, and as a result, it was just a great effort. And once again, like I said, those guys did a good job of making a couple big plays. I thought Matt Vandenbush's interception, into the wind there in the first quarter it really took it away from the receiver. It was a big play for us.
Definitely got that win 40-17. Now you're looking forward to Valley City this upcoming weekend. You faced them already this year when you traveled east. What can we expect from that team?
Well, they're going to play well against us, and they always do. We expect that they're obviously going to come in here and play well at our place. And they were defeated last week by Waldorf, who's got a really good offensive team. They still put up 36 points. They have a couple of guys offensively. I think their quarterback does a good job keeping plays going. I think their running back last time had close to 100 yards against us. One of their wide receivers is a handful. So we know we're going to have a big task in front of us, just like we do every week. But we're excited to play them. It's a good regional rivalry for us, and once again, it's just great to be at home again.
Yeah, definitely. And then you get another week at home following that homecoming. What does that mean to you as alumni and having so many of your coaches be alumni, kind of have that homecoming game?
Yeah, that's always an exciting time for us, to be able to have that. And, we have a lot of our former athletes obviously come back. You look at the Hall of Fame and the guys and ladies that are coming back for that. I think, personally, I coach 3 or 4 of the athletes that are coming back from the Hall of Fame. And I know, our wrestling team's coming back and our 1970s football team is coming back. It's just a really exciting time for the community and for Dickinson State to have all those alums back, and then they can see what we've got going on here with our football program and all of our other athletic programs. And it's just a nice time to reconnect with those alums, and obviously with me being one of it and several of our coaches, it's just a really nice time. And of course we have to perform well on the field. That's our job to be able to do that. It's nice to have everybody back, but our football team has to do a good job of having a good performance on the field during that week as well.
Yeah, definitely. Do you try to connect with some of those alum to bring them to talk to the team and kind of show them where they can go?
Yeah, most definitely, and we actually try to do that every weekend. We'll have, this weekend we'll have Rory Farsfeet, who's a, several-time All-American and who's from Beach, and then the following weekend we have several alums in, and then I myself, know many of those guys, and our staff does. We definitely, appreciate their support, and we want to keep them involved. And what we have going on our program, we have a very, very good, booster club, very good touchdown club. All those guys are very active, and we're very fortunate to have the support in the community that we have.
Yeah, definitely. Another role that you stepped into this semester was interim athletic director, and kind of some shuffling around in that department. Most notably, recently, the head coach Justin Wetzel stepped down from the basketball team to take another job. And where are we going with that?
Well, we're very fortunate to to hire Josh Vaughn, who is originally from Minnesota, who played at North Dakota State. He was on the team that went to the NCAA tournament and played against Kansas, and then he's been at a few places since then. And most recently, he was an assistant coach at the University of Marion. And, we appreciated Coach Wetzel for all he did for us for the program. He left for another opportunity, and I guess the big thing we were fortunate in the process is we had several great applicants for the position. We interviewed 3, and Josh is one that really came to the forefront, and we're excited to have somebody of his caliber and his energy and his knowledge and passion for the game to help lead our guys this year. So we're looking forward to having him on staff. Yeah,
how nice is it to have someone that's knowledgeable about the area, but also has had those experiences of going to the NCAA.
Yeah, most definitely. He's a guy that's has won a lot of games as a player, and his high school. He won state championships as high school. His dad was his high school coach, and is in the Hall of Fame in Minnesota. So, obviously all the success he had at NDSU, and as you said, did a great job with his in-state recruiting, and I think that's going to be important for us. That he's going to be somebody who's going to be a great recruiter, and he's going to relate well to the players, and I think he'll do an outstanding job for our program.
Awesome. Well, basketball tips off in about 2 weeks. Football is here against Valley City at 2 o'clock at the BGO Activity Center. Make sure you come out to support the team. Thank you, Coach.
All right, thank you.
We'll be back with a couple of Coach Stanton's athletes.
Life is full of many successes, achievements, stages. Every year we grow, things change, and pretty soon we realize we want and need to do more. When you're ready for that next step, Dickinson State University will get you there. Find out how at dsublue.com.
Welcome back to Hawk Talk for this Blue Feather Focus. The Blue Feather Athletic Association is the funding body of the DSU Heritage Foundation, bringing student athletes from all over the country, the world, whatever it may be. And we're joined by one of those here. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself, where you're from, and the journey to Dickinson State.
My name is Carsten Mack Jr. I'm from Trinity, Texas. I graduated from Trinity High School in 2016, so this year I am a true sophomore on the field. And the journey here has been amazing. It's a long road. I never heard of Dickinson until I talked to Coach Schillinger. And once I talked to him and heard of the things that they were doing here, I wanted to be a part of it.
Yeah, definitely. I can't imagine you get a lot of snow in Trinity, Texas. What was your first winter like last year?
Last year was pretty bad. I wasn't expecting it to be that bad. People back home told me that it got cold, but in Texas we consider cold like mid-60s. And I got here and I saw negative 22 and didn't want to leave the room.
Yeah, definitely. And you got a chance to play in some of that weather last year, have that experience to go to the playoffs. And then moving into this year, you really had a coming out party the last two games. You've totaled 245 yards, 5 touchdowns. What's that stretch been like for you on the field?
It feels amazing knowing that our offense, we work hard every day at practice, and certain things haven't been working in some games, and now they're starting to work. Like Coach Schillinger said, like over time, we just have to be patient and things will start working, and it's starting to show.
Yeah, definitely. What's your mindset when you go out there? Are you looking for something specific on the defense, or are you just taking what they give you?
I like to tell the offense in pregame that we are the defense. We will be the most physical team that they play. We just got to go out and throw the first punch. Like, we can't let the defense set the tempo of the game. We have to play our game, and we have to go out and control the clock and the scoreboard, and we have to win in all aspects of the game.
Yeah, definitely. And for anyone that's seen you, they know you're a pretty physical runner. What kind of toll does that take on the body throughout a season?
Luckily, I'm 19, so I'm still young, so my body recovers pretty fast. And we have Tim over the training staff, and he does a good job if we feeling any kind of bumps or aches or bruises, he's like able to get us back right and on the field healthy pretty fast. So over the season, I guess it takes a big impact, but with our trainers and facilities, it's easy to overbear.
Yeah, definitely. Like I talked with Coach Stanton, you guys had 11 guys catch passes in the Mayville game. How fun is it to play on a team that can go really anywhere when you're out there?
It's fun because you never know. I could be getting the ball, Hayden could throw the ball, and when Hayden's throwing the ball, he has multiple targets to throw the ball to, and they're all dangerous with the ball and explosive athletes. And honestly, we all just help each other out. Like, when Hayden's throwing the ball well, it spreads the field, and I can run the ball better. And when I'm running the ball better, they try to load the defenses. They load the box, and Hayden can just do his thing out there throwing the ball.
Yeah, definitely. And you stepped in right away last year. Didn't take a red shirt. How was transitioning from Texas high school football, which is known to be the highest level of high school football, into a college setting? What was that transition like for you?
The speed of the game changed a lot because in high school I could get the ball and just outrun everybody and go score, but in college I got to be patient and wait on my line to set up big blocks to make cuts and reads. And honestly, college running the ball is all about patience and timing and trusting your linemen and following them.
Yeah, and definitely you seem to trust your linemen. In the last game against Presentation, you had 130 yards, 3 touchdowns in the first half. How helpful have those linemen been this year as you continue to progress?
They're good. Some of them came in with me and they redshirted last year, so I'm pretty close to some of them. And then 4 of our 5 starters returned last year, so them being experienced and having experience on the field, they kind of plays off to this year. And then going into next year, we're only losing 1 more, so we'll have 4 more returning again, and that's pretty exciting to know that I'm running behind the same people I've been running against for 2 to 3 years.
Yeah, absolutely. And then moving forward in this season, only a couple more home games. and kind of winded down the conference. What are your personal goals, team goals, whatever it may be, to finish up the season?
I just want to make a playoff run and go as far as we can go and continue to be a team and stay united, because our team is something special this year, and I feel like we can go a long way.
Yeah, definitely. Quite a few of the team members were a part of last year's playoff appearance and the year before. What kind of role do you think experience plays into that moving forward?
I guess we've been there. We know what to expect. We know what's going to happen. We know how the refs are in the playoffs, in away games, and we just got to come out and play our game and set the tempo fast and punch them in the mouth and do what we got to do.
Yeah, definitely. For anyone on the fence of coming out to the BASC Saturday to watch your game against Valley City, what's your pitch to them to come out and watch the team?
They're going to see an offense that plays with a lot of passion, and we going to push ourselves hard this week to make sure that this week goes like last week. Last week we had a great week of practice, and it showed off on the field, and we're just going to try to make it happen again.
Yeah, definitely. We'll make sure you come out, see Carsten Mack Jr., and we'll be meeting with one of your teammates on the other side of the ball after this break. Thanks, Carsten.
Thank you.
Welcome back to Hawk Talk for another Blue Feather Focus. This time we're joined by a more local kid than Carsten Mack. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and where you come from and how you came to Dickinson?
All right, well, I'm Tommy Cease. I'm from Bismarck. Just like Carson, Coach Schillinger recruited me. I just really early in the recruiting process, I got to know Coach Schillinger, just really liked him, came up for a visit, saw just how nice the facilities are we have here at Dickinson State, and I just decided this is where I wanted to play.
Yeah, definitely. And you jumped in your freshman year, got playing time. You know, what was the translation like for you moving from high school?
Well, in high school, I actually played D-line. I weighed about 250, so it was definitely new. I came into college weighing about 180, playing outside linebacker. There was definitely some growing pains, but we have a really good coaching staff here, and we've always had good defensive ends at Dickinson State, so had a lot of people encouraging me and just helping me through the process.
And what was that transition like coming from 250 down to the 190 area?
It was hard. I mean, I felt a lot better, and that's all that really mattered for me. I felt a lot more athletic, so it honestly wasn't as hard as most people would think.
Yeah, definitely. You definitely look athletic out there, but it seems like every week you got another wrist brace, something on there. You know, what's kind of that struggle been like trying to keep healthy?
I mean, it's tough. You never expect to break your wrist. I've broke 2 in the past 2 seasons, had 2 surgeries in the past 6 months, but I really just try not to think about it and then just go out there. And I mean, I do play defense and I play linebacker, so I don't really have to catch the ball, so that's always nice.
Yeah, definitely. And like we said, you came in your freshman year. What have those experiences been like? 2 national appearances. You know, how does that kind of involve you and kind of create you a leadership role on this team?
I mean, it's awesome. Just having been on those 2 teams, I've got some experience. I've been there before. So from a leadership standpoint, I would just say being one of the guys that's been there before and is just familiar with the situation isn't going to be a nervous one. And yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And like we talked with Coach Stanton, you guys have quite the secondary behind you. So how fun is it? They give you all the time in the world to get back to the quarterback.
I mean, it's fun. Our D-line does a great job of getting to the quarterback. Obviously, our secondary is great. Our linebackers are good, and just they make everything just a lot easier.
Yeah, definitely. And you guys are going up against a pretty good offense week in, week out in practice. How does that prepare you each week?
It helps so much. I mean, we got great receivers like Seth, Tiger. For me personally, that just helps me because they were some of the top guys in our conference. So getting to practice against those guys every day really helps prepare for the games.
Yeah, definitely. And you don't only play football, you're also a track athlete. Talk a bit about the decathlon that you've competed well against so far, or competed well in so far in your career.
Yeah, well, like you said, I do the decathlon, 10 events. It's fun, but it's definitely challenging. Going forward, I'm just hoping to get healthy, hopefully contribute on some relays, and then just keep hopefully scoring points for the team.
Yeah, definitely. And another pretty successful team throughout your career. What do you enjoy more? Is there a single event in the decathlon that you enjoy the most?
I wouldn't say there's an event I enjoy the most, but I definitely dislike the 100 and long jump because those are what I'm bad at. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, we hope you continue to improve in those then. Also, kind of wrapping up your career as a Blue Hawk, what's your major and where do you plan to go next?
My major right now is psychology with a minor in exercise science. I haven't completely decided exactly what I want to do, but I'm hoping to eventually become a psychiatrist.
And you've been involved writing some articles in different journals. What was that experience like on the education side?
I mean, it was awesome. I have a lot of teachers who helped me just basically get kind of into that kind of stuff, and they did a great job mentoring me, and I learned a lot.
Yeah, definitely. Well, make sure you come out, check out Tommy and the rest of the defensive squad Saturday against Valley and the following weekend against Waldorf. Best of luck to you, Tommy.
Thank you so
be
much.
gentle on the hand. Until next week, Hawks are up.